Hello, YouTube. Deacon Do here, and we look at week 3 of the December 2024 weekly challenge races in Gran Turismo 7, and we do it all in beautiful PS VR2. Let's go! Let's go! My wedding day, the birth of my son, an American finishing first at Le Mans. Yeah! Yes! Woo! Defending American soil with American muscle. Hell yeah! Woo! Just a few quick reminders. First, I race in PSVR 2 with no HUD when I race these weekly challenges, so I have no idea what my position is on the field, and I don't know what my lap times are. The other thing is, for 4 of these races, I will run Sport Soft tires and no upgrades beyond the Club Sport tab, which is the second tab. I want to challenge myself a little bit. It helps me become a better driver when I don't always have the best upgrades or the best tires. Now, for race 5 at Watkins Glen in the Group C's, I do put racing softs on because it's Watkins Glen. I don't want to kill myself. Anyways, I want to know what cars you drove this week. So head down to the comments section, check out the pinned comment, and let me know what cars you raced. For the European Sunday Cup 400, we decide to race the 1965 Mini Cooper S. And no, despite what you might think, it is not because of the massive amount of horsepower that this car produces at a whopping 79 horsepower. No. It is for 2 reasons. First, because of the weight of this car, we feel it can climb the hill pretty easily and make up for its lack of top-end speed. The other reason, and probably the big reason, is I love the interior to this car. As a bigger guy, it's not easy for me to get into cars like this in real life. And so being able to do it in VR and have the front end so close to me is kind of cool. Now, because of the lack of top speed, I'm able to coast through turns, don't have to brake as hard, can get on the gas sooner, and as you can see, very quickly I passed 3 cars. And right here on the uphill section, you will see what I mean by being able to downshift near the top of the hill, hit the gas, go ahead and upshift as we crest the hill, and push through to be able to pick up some more speed. Very quickly, we're in 4th place with only 1 lap to go. Now, you're going to see for the next 3 cars, the lack of top-end speed for this car really make up for, or not really make up for, but be evident here. You're going to see that some of these cars are just able to pull away on the straights. And unfortunately, it is what it is. We have to really play to the strengths of this car. Between the soft sport tires and the, that was close, and the lack of top-end speed, we're able to kind of send it through corners much more than some of these cars and get on the gas sooner. And as we are getting ready to climb the hill on lap 2, we can see we are now in 3rd place, but we do have 2 cars with a lot more top-end speed than us in front of us. We'll have to see if we can catch them. With 1 lap to go, we still have 2 cars ahead of us, and both of them are a lot better on the straights than I am. So I have to play to the strength here and send it around the outside on the 2nd place car, able to make it stick, get on the gas quicker, and hopefully we can hold on to that. Now, he is going to be able to catch up to us just a little bit on some of these straights, but We'll just see if we can out-corner him. We have one car ahead of us with about a half a lap to go, and as we start to gain on him, my concern is going to be, do we have the horsepower to make it? The last couple turns are going to be very important. Not sure if I can send it enough to catch up, as you can see him pulling away, but we're going to give it our best. And unfortunately, we do not have enough under the hood to catch the car, but we do finish this race in second place. Not too bad for a little 80 horsepower car. In fact, we do get the best lap, as you can see right here, with a time of 1 minute, 1.5 seconds. Race 2 sends us to the Tokyo Expressway south clockwise layout for the Lightweight K-Cup. And for this, we picked the 2015 Honda S660. And we really did it just because we have never raced this car and we wanted to see what it looked like and felt like. So we went ahead and upgraded it with the Club Sport upgrades, the Sport Soft tires, and hopped in this bad boy to see what it could do with a whopping 75 horsepower. Now, I will say one of the first things that jumped out at me was I love the instrument cluster. It's a mix of, for me anyways, a mix of retro from, say, the 80s with the flashing lights and whatnot, but also with a modern look to it. Now, of course, much like Race 1, this car does not have a ton of horsepower, but these cars aren't made to have horsepower. So we do send a lot of turns, try to use the car's momentum and the Sport Soft tires to be able to slide and go around corners. Yet we're still able to stick this car into a couple of gaps like you saw just there. The other thing is we're able to probably brake a little bit later than a lot of these cars, possibly because of the Sport Soft tires, but you know what? I'm having fun. I don't care. These are fun little cars. I've not done a lot of racing in these cars, but after this I probably may even do a weekly series or something with one of my racing communities in these cars. They are fun little cars. If you're interested in joining a Gran Turismo community, go ahead down to the description and check out the second Discord link, the one for the WRC, the World Racing Community, making racing accessible to everyone. You may have noticed that I let this car run out to about 8,500 RPM before I shift. This car has a pretty flat power curve at the top of the RPM range, so my thought here is to let it rev out so that when I do shift, I'm still near the top of that horsepower range. It served pretty well, and it also allowed me to really kind of get into a good rhythm with this car as we get into a little bit of a bumper tap right there. Anyways, I do like being able to rev this car out. If you go much beyond 8,500 RPM, it's going to just, it's going to go ahead and just top out and start hitting the rev limiter. Otherwise, though, this car does like the high RPMs. This is a 3-lap race, and instead of sitting here chewing your ears off, I'm going to go ahead and bow out and let you watch and listen to this race. But I will be back, and we will look at race 3 as soon as we finish up this K-Cup race at Tokyo Expressway. As we head into the final turn, we have no way of knowing for sure what position we are in because of course we race without a HUD for these weekly challenges. We know that there's at least one car ahead of us, maybe more. As we cross the finish line, we do confirm in fact we finished third, which is good enough to complete the challenge. While this was a fun little car, I think I could do better with more practice, but I'll go ahead and take it. As you see, we did not even get the fastest lap. For race 3, we head to the GP layout of Circuit de Barcelona for the Ferrari Circuit Challenge. And compared to our last two cars, this car, the 1984 Ferrari GTO, has an astonishing 468 horsepower. Now we are on sports softs, and this is a track that does require some technical curves, so this is going to be an interesting combination to try here. Now why did I choose this car? Well, I grew up in the 80s, and of course this was one of the cars that a lot of us wanted to have when we were younger, and so this kind of is a nostalgia trip for me. One of the first things I notice about the interior of this car is the copious amounts of Ferrari red to match the exterior of this car. You'll see it a little bit later when I look at the seats and whatnot. There's a lot of black and red in here. Really cool. I really enjoy it kind of as a cool color combo for me growing up. You're going to notice that this car has great straight line speed, but some turns that are normally pretty easy to do in any car are a bit of an adventure, as you can see me sawing the steering wheel just a little bit. Some of these turns are very interesting. Like I said, an adventure in this car on these sports soft tires. Overall, I did enjoy this combination. The 1984 GTO is indeed a straight line dream, and in the turns it is very difficult to master. As you can see here throughout this race, I will be able to make it passable. I wouldn't say I mastered it by any stretch of the imagination. The other thing is, because of the straight line speed, my brake lines were a lot sooner than I thought, and so there's going to be a couple laps where I take this turn right heel probably a little bit deeper than I should, but we're able to recover and drive this car pretty well. Now, where will we finish? Well, you'll have to go ahead and stay tuned in and check out the end of this race. Before I bow out temporarily, I do want to thank you for watching. If you can, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe buttons, and also don't forget the pinned comment. What cars did you run this week for the weekly challenges? As we come up on the home stretch of this race, there were many times where I had no traffic around me. I was not sure how far ahead or behind I was of anybody, but every time we had a huge gap, we found somebody else we had to pass. So we were happy with a second place finish. Very dangerous car, fun in a straight line, but very dangerous in some of the turns. And as you can see here with the fastest lap of just under 1 minute 57 seconds, it definitely is a quick car. For race 4, we head back to the Tokyo Expressway, but this time the east clockwise layout. Now, unfortunately, I forgot to grab the spec sheet for this car, but again, we are racing in Club Sport or lower mods. However, this car is a rocket ship with an astounding 658 horsepower. We raced in the 2024 Nissan GTR Premium Edition T-spec. And holy cow, right out of the gate, you could just tell this thing is a rocket ship. I almost felt bad at certain points of this race because I was just, I don't like to race in a overpowered car, I guess. I don't like to race those in the weekly challenges. It kind of defeats the purpose. But I will say with all of that, we are on the sports soft tires, and this car wants to step out in a few different places. Not as bad as the 1984 Ferrari GTO that we just raced at Circuit de Barcelona in race 3, but there are a lot of times where you will see I get off the gas or maybe tap the brake just so that I don't send this thing into the wall somewhere. There's a few times where it looks like I'm heading towards the wall, but I'm able to save it. This thing is fast. This thing is, on this track in close quarters, is definitely not the most difficult car to drive, but is definitely something you can't just mash the gas and go. You have to play a little bit of finesse here. My brake marker was probably, it was much earlier than a lot of other cars. I'll say that much. I don't know the exact distance, but because of the speeds of this car, especially, this is really evident on the long straightaway, just how quickly I get up to, the speedometer max of 340 kilometers per hour. I did like this race, how it starts in the day and then ends in the night. It is kind of cool when you're going through this section at night, just watching the lights of the other cars coming towards you on the other side of the barrier. Definitely a fun race, definitely a fun car. I will say that again, that it is at times a white knuckle scenario just because of the speed you're carrying in this car. I mean, some of these cars just look like they're standing still. And again, this is just a stock 2024 GTR Premium Edition T-spec with Club Sport or Sport mods from the mod shop. Nothing higher than that, and of course Sport Softs. And this thing just hauls tail. 658 horsepower is just a ton of horsepower. I'm going to step out here and let you enjoy the sounds and sights of the Tokyo Expressway in the 2024 Nissan GTR Premium Edition. But before I do, I want to invite you to check out the video description and join the Do World Order Discord. The Do World Order is a gaming community that has been together since 1997. And we have a variety of gamers that play all sorts of different games. We go back, back to 1997. Some of us even longer than that have known each other for 30, 35 years. We play a variety of games, and we have community members from their early 20s all the way into their 50s. So if you're looking for a chill place to just kind of hang out and play a bunch of different games with a bunch of different gamers, check out the Do World Order Discord. The link is in the description below. As we get ready to wrap up this race, again, this car is a rocket ship. The sport soft tires do make it interesting at some of the turns around here, but this car definitely was overpowered for this race. As you can see, I finished first here, and it wasn't even close, as you'll see at the final standings here. We did finish a best lap of just under 2 minutes, 6 seconds. Hell of a car, way overpowered for this race, though. For the fifth and final race of the December 2024 Week 3 Weekly Challenges, we head to Watkins Glen and we hop in the 1989 Sauber Mercedes C9. Now, while this car does not have the top-end speed that a lot of other Group C cars do have, it is able to maneuver some of these turns here at Watkins Glen just a little bit better because of that. Now, the main reason I put softs on this car was indeed because it was Watkins Glen, and I really did not feel comfortable on mediums or hards on this track. And the big reason we picked this car is because, to be frank, the first online race we ran and won in VR was in this car at Le Mans. So this car holds a special place in my heart. You're going to see that it takes a couple of laps for me to really get the pace down. I think the first lap we actually finished further behind than when we started. And that's okay because we were able to make some gains near the middle and end of this race. I'm going to step out again here for a few minutes and let you all listen to the sounds of this race and enjoy the sights of Watkins Glen. I do want to thank you for watching, and I'll rejoin you guys near the end of this race for some closing thoughts on the December 2024 Week 3 Weekly Challenges. as we get ready to wrap up December 2024 Week 3 Weekly Challenge races. I will say that I had a lot more pace in this car. I could have pushed it more. It took me a while to get up to pace, and even then I still do not feel I got the best out of this car that I could have. However, we did finish third place, which is admirable. I think with more practice, we could easily win this race in this car. We did end up with the fastest lap of 1 minute, 33.4 seconds. Overall, not bad. An enjoyable race in a car I like at a track I enjoy. That's it for this week. I want to thank you for watching this video. And if you go ahead, hit the like and subscribe buttons, I would appreciate it. And until next time, make sure to take care of yourselves and each other and have a blessed day. Merry Christmas. Bye-bye.